So I did a Variety profile, and we're gonna get into that. Actually, we should just get into that right now. And there were some choice words in the profile. There was a really funny pre-watch Piker moment in the profile as well. I hit a big gamble and struck gold in the profile. Israel did not kill Charlie Kirk. That is insane. The World According to Hasan Piker by Tatiana Siegel. Okay? Hasan Piker is about to prove his point. For weeks, the wildly popular Twitch streamer and leftist commentator has been following the online discourse surrounding the assassination of Charlie Kirk. The topic is personal for Piker, who was scheduled to debate Kirk at Dartmouth College 15 days after the right-wing political activist was gunned down on a Utah campus. Authorities charged college student Tyler Robinson with the crime, but lately a civil war has erupted among conservatives over conspiratorial claims that the Mossad had a hand in the murder. You would be surprised at how many people believe that stuff, he says, as he mulls the menu options of the crowded Chelsea restaurant on a brisk October morning. When our waiter arrives, Piker turns to the 20-something hipster. Can I ask you a question? Who is the most likely person that killed Charlie Kirk, he asks. I think it was Israel. It seems like an inside job, the server replies hesitantly before heading back to the kitchen for Piker's cold brew. The answer comes as a shock to me, but it's no surprise to the extremely online millennial who acknowledges that he is fascinated by conspiracy theories. I literally was talking to her about this mid-interview, and she couldn't believe it. She's like, you think a lot of people think that like Israel killed Charlie Kirk? And I was like, here, I'll show you. And I straight up turned to the waiter, and I was like, hey, man, you heard about the Charlie Kirk stuff, right? And he was like, yeah. Like, who do you think did it? He said, straight up, Israel. I watch every Candace Owens, Piker says, referring to the new media star of the far right who has fanned the flames of the Israel theory. He nods in the direction of our waiter. Is the reason why I know exactly where he is coming from with the Charlie Israel thing. For me, no matter how far-fetched the conspiracy is, if it is getting 2 million views in 24 hours, that means a lot of people are tuning into it. That means a lot of people are paying attention to it. And in this day and age, I think a lot of people are believing it. Piker feels no allyship with Owens, even if they share the belief that Israel is a malignant force. He is merely a student of the attention economy, a space in which he is thriving. With nearly 3 million followers on Twitch and 1.75 million YouTube subscribers, the 34-year-old influencer seems like a possible answer to the next question of when the left will find its own Joe Rogan. As the next generation turns more conservative and alpha males like Andrew Tate ascend, Piker offers an alternative vision and the rare ability to sway an election. As an early and enthusiastic supporter of Zohran Mamdani, Piker played a key role in helping catapult the New York mayoral candidate to Gracie Mansion by spreading the Democrat socialist message to his legion of fans. With our waiter out of earshot, Piker drops his voice discreetly. Israel did not kill Charlie Kirk. That's insane, he says. I did that for you because you were shocked. When the waiter returns with our order, he tells Piker that he's comping the cold brew. Wait, why? Piker asks. I just like your vibe, the server says. A lot of people like Piker's vibe. His brand, a twofold critique of Israel and a billionaire class, has made him a multimillionaire and a foil. Anti-Defamation League CEO Jonathan Greenblatt has accused him of using his platform to promote toxic anti-Zionism. Andrew Cuomo invoked Piker's name repeatedly along the campaign trail in an effort to smear Mamdani. Is that true, Lamau? Yeah, that was true. On this morning, guys, of course it's true. It's because I talk to people all the time. It's not fake. Like when I say I talk to people, regular folks on a daily basis, this is what I mean. And I think many people don't do that. Many people do not do that. Many people don't just go out and talk to random people like they are regular people. Okay? That's part of the reason why I love talking to Uber drivers in general as well. That's another reason. Because regular folks got some crazy ass theories. I don't talk to Uber drivers because I'm live. I talk to Uber drivers when I'm offline as well. Anyway, on this morning, Piker just arrived via red eye from his home in Los Angeles for an appearance at the New Yorker Festival. His inclusion in the lineup already sparked a wave of outrage. Wearing a no-logo sweatshirt, sweatpants, and a Free Palestine wristband, and an Apple Watch carrying a small Gucci bag that holds his Zyn supply, Piker signals a cross between conspicuous consumption and Bernie bro. Lurking beneath a camo hat emblazoned with the word thieves is a mind that poses one of the biggest PR threats to the pro-Israel set. The Jersey-born, Istanbul-raised, Rutgers-educated provocateur has no plans to back down. People like this photo, by the way. Do you guys think this photo is cool? I was a little worried about how it was going to look. What's up with all these fanfic-style interviews with you? What are the chances of this interaction happening perfectly with this interaction? This interview is going to end with, and everyone clapped. I know it sounds unbelievable, but if you talk to enough people, all the time, you get a better feel for what their worldview looks like. I love that you think this person faked that interaction, by the way. Like, they have no allegiance with me. Why would they do that? You only get this level of cynicism if you straight up have been brain broken, I think, by, I mean, it speaks to the kismet of it all. It speaks to like the coincidence of it all, but it also speaks to how I think how much you maybe pay attention to a lot of the anti-Hasan content out there, maybe, because like it's just strange for you to assume that that would be unique. Like I have moments like that on stream all the time. The last 2 years I've been called anti-Semitic. I abhor anti-Semitism, and I've spent my entire professional media career combating it. I just happen to be anti-Israel, and that makes me a far greater threat than the likes of Nick Fuentes because they know he's a Nazi, he says, referring to yet another polarizing figure in the ongoing schism within the far right. By the way, this is before the Nick Fuentes stuff popped off on the right wing as well. So even that in and of itself is actually an interesting predicament. Even that situation was another pre-watch Piker moment because we were talking about this stuff before the schism became apparent. Okay, remember this is an interview I did that I was late to, that I talked to you guys about, if you recall, because I fell asleep and I almost missed it before the New Yorker. I don't find kinship with the right because I think there are some on the right that just use Israel as a new opportunity to cut through the noise. His voice, famous from 2,674 live streams or 18,624 hours in front of a camera since he started on Twitch in 2018, is steady and evokes the East Coast liberal arts poli-sci education he received. Maybe they seek kinship with me, but I've been here for decades, he says, because this is a problem that predates October 7. That's why a lot of people in the know shortly after October 7, myself included, were like, this is horrifying. But the reason as to why this is happening is because of 75 years of apartheid at that point. The genocide that was the inception of the Israeli nation state. And most people were just so oblivious to that reality. They were like, how dare you say something so barbaric? How dare you say something instead of just sitting there silently in mourning? But there has never been a moment in my life where I ever considered Israel to be anything but a criminal enterprise. This is in print, dude. This is Variety magazine. The world is changing. I need you to understand something. The world is changing so much. This is a Variety profile that isn't antagonistic on someone like myself, covering not only my worldview, my politics, but also straight up putting in print anti-Zionist statements. Hanging with Hasan Piker plays out a bit like one of his marathon streams on Twitch, a hybrid of live television and social media that allows creators to interact with his fans via chat. The hours float by as he flits from one topic to the next, a mix of politics and pop culture. He's discussed about Hollywood's treatment of pro-Palestinian voices who have lost most career opportunities, such as Scream actress Melissa Barrera, whose firing from the franchise happened, he says, at the peak of the panic. Some have been dropped by their agencies, including Susan Sarandon, love her, by UTA, or their labels like Roger Waters, he's awesome, over their Israel critiques. More recently, British punk rap duo Bob Vylan was cut by UTA for leading chants of death to the IDF during a performance in Glastonbury Festival. I don't think that's necessarily going too far, Piker says, of Bob Vylan's actions. I think the moment that you start talking about Jewish control or the Talmud is when people go too far. As a Muslim who sees so much Islamophobia, I'm very tuned into that dog whistle, like the overemphasis on Sharia. The notion that Mamdani would impose Sharia law in New York was indicative of the tenure of the final stretch of the mayoral race. They do it to Jewish people as well in a similar vein. I think that's when people go too far. From Piker's perspective, Amy Schumer should have been canceled for social media posts she made in the wake of October 7. Amy was going crazy and no punishments there. She was just straight up being like, they're all rapists, barbaric monsters, they're head choppers. We got to deal with them. Piker appears to be referencing an illustration Schumer shared and then deleted on Instagram that depicted pro-Palestinian supporters holding signs with such slogans as Gazans rape Jewish girls only in self-defense and proud of our rapists martyrs. China, you can keep him. I like that. I can't tell if this is a hater or a lover saying this because, like, I love China. That's so funny. Despite calls for his cancellation for his criticism of Israel, Piker has withstood the heat. WME didn't drop me, which I think is very interesting, he says. He was told to tone it down, but he's vague about exactly who told him. He's getting a little too hot is what I heard, he says. Did he heed that warning? No, because I'm very stubborn, and if something is wrong, I'm going to call it out. And if I can't call it out, then I can't do my job. That's my job. That's what I do. So yes, I've gotten warnings, and I'm not oblivious. Journalist Taylor Lorenz, a friend of Piker's who has covered the subject of internet harassment for 15 years, says that he is unique in the breadth of his haters, from Vice President J.D. Vance to Democratic Representative Richie Torres. Hasan is a very particular strain of politics, which is leftism that is attacked by both mainstream centrist Democrats, bad faith left-wing actors, the right wing, and just internet trolls, Lorenz says. And he's on the most dramatic platform possible, Twitch, which has the most parasocial fan base of any platform. He gets the entire internet weaponized against him. He is the only straight man I've ever seen that has been gamer-gated. Earlier this year, that's such a funny line. That's true. I'm the first male victim of like actual successful objectification. I'm the first male victim of Gamergate. It's true though. It's literally so stupid. I mean, it still doesn't impact me in the same exact way that it would others, like in the same exact way that it would women in general, and that's because obviously we do still live in a patriarchal society, right? But that hasn't stopped people from trying, if you know what I mean. Earlier this year, Mamdani's mother, director Mira Nair, signed a petition calling for the Academy to rescind his invitation to Gal Gadot to appear at the Oscars for her support for Israel's military actions against Palestinians. Given that Gadot's comments throughout the conflict have centered on releasing the hostages, I asked Piker if such a campaign was fair. I think she should be banned from the Oscars for being a dog shit actress. I think she has no business being there for the crime of what she has done, not only to the DC franchise, but really any movie she's been a part of. So that was a joke, but I feel like it doesn't read like that when you read it out loud, right? Can you tell? Because she didn't say Hasan jokes, Piker quibs, Piker jokes. I think she should be banned from the Oscars for being a dog shit actress. He says to the Wonder Woman star, all jokes aside, okay, well, I did follow with, all jokes aside, Gal Gadot serves an important role in normalizing Israel as not a fascist ethno-state, but instead a place where a lot of beautiful women come from. And those beautiful women happen to serve in the IDF, because there's also this weird sexualization of the forces as well that takes place, and it plays another role in normalizing Israel and its activities and actions and whitewashing it. Now that is also a somewhat unique perspective to hear in mainstream outlets as well. Not only did they actually put all of the anti-Zionist statements in there, this is something that I never in my life would have thought that Variety would actually ever feature a piece that just straight up said that Israel, like Israeli propaganda, weaponizes the hypersexualization of its own female forces in an effort to propagandize and whitewash their war crimes. Bro, you cooked. You did the perfect AI. Make this more concise paragraph on that. By contrast, Piker appreciates the work of Natalie Portman, who is Israeli but has never served in the IDF like Gadot. If Gal Gadot could act like Natalie Portman, there are probably less people yelling at her. Natalie Portman has made statements about Israel that are middle of the road, but ultimately nobody holds that against her because she can act her freaking face off. All the back when she was like a teenager. Oh my God, Leon the Professional. Gadot may have ruined the DC franchise for Piker, but James Gunn is redeeming it. When Superman opened on July 11th, Piker made viral the idea that the fictional nation of Baravia is a stand-in for Israel. In the film, Baravia, backed by U.S.-made weaponry, drops bombs on and oppresses his desert neighbor, prompting Superman to intercede. Gunn has since denied that the plotline has anything to do with the Middle East. James Gunn is a lot more woke than he lets on, and he lets on how woke he is all the time, Piker says, still certain of the director and DC chief's intention all these months later. Come on, man. You made the Baravian leader look like David Ben-Gurion. He just straight up looks one-to-one like the first prime minister of Israel. We don't even care about what you say about this. We know exactly what we're looking at. To take the allegory a step further, Palantir, BlackRock, and Raytheon are Luthor Corp. Lex Luthor is cutting a direct contract with Baravia to extract natural resources and then also having a testing ground for their weapons, Piker says. I mean, that's literally what we do. Gaza is a weapons laboratory. That's how imperialism works. Apropos of something, Piker then gives a thumbs up to the actor who's suited up as the latest Man of Steel. David Cornswet, from what I understand, is Jewish and he's very cool. He's not like pro-Israel or anything like that, as far as I've seen, he notes. With that, Piker is ready to move on to cross Burbank superhero rival Marvel, but there's little for him to mind on that front. I've always been a Marvel fan growing up, but I can't stand the Marvel Cinematic Universe, he says. Piker's intensity is palpable as he chases double espresso with a 6 milligram Zyn pouch. All that's missing is the scroll of chat comments accompanying his musings. Instead of swooning fans enter the real-life frame to express their gratitude, a woman dining with her son approaches our table. No, it's impossible. He lives in LA, she says, beaming. And then I kept looking and looking. And it's him. I absolutely love your work. Being a Twitch streamer is a lot of that, he says, of his exchange with the server. I have my ear to the ground all the time. A lot of people in legacy media, traditional journalists, are so out of step with the average person around them, even in their immediate vicinity. Still, Piker allows the rich and powerful to occupy plenty space in his head. Barry Weiss, recently installed editor-in-chief of the CBS News, gets a bashing. Barry Weiss is everything that I despise about access journalism, brown-nosing to institutionally powerful people, and a major advocate for Israel as well. A person that has spent her entire career decrying woke or identity politics while simultaneously using her identity as a shield, she says. Like, I'm a lesbian woman, I can't be intolerant. And also, even using your identity as a Jewish woman to say, identity politics sucks, unless we're talking about Jewish people. Piker scoffs at the idea that CBS News was biased before Barry Weiss arrived. There's not enough pro-Israel voices in major news? Come on, that's ridiculous, he says. Yet she's been rewarded handsomely for it. $150 million for her Substack that no one cares about or knows about. It's very obvious why that happened. The Redstones, the seller, and the Ellisons, the buyer, wanted to make CBS more pro-Israel. Shari Redstone was willing to hand off CBS to the Ellisons because she thought they would do a better job of making it pro-Israel. When Paramount deal was announced in August, Redstone said Ellison has a clear strategic vision and the resources to take the studio to its next stage of growth. This part almost comes across as conspiratorial, especially because it doesn't actually feature the evidence that I centered this around. I've obviously covered this issue quite a bit on my broadcast, so you guys know about it. And I did actually bring it up in the interview as well. I literally showed her the article of Shari Redstone being like, I am finally selling the 60 Minutes after the 60 Minutes saga, right? Since the deal closed, the studio has made a series of moves that bolster Piker's contention that Paramount is now more Israel-friendly. In September, it announced a petition signed by celebrities, including Emma Stone and Javier Bardem, that call for a boycott of Israeli film institutions that implicated in genocide and apartheid against Palestinians. Last month, CBS Morning's co-host Tony DeKoppel interviewed Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in Tel Aviv. Barry Weiss was being packaged as someone who could bring top talent. Wow, Piker says. Benjamin Netanyahu never gives interviews anymore to American news. He talks to American news more than he does to Israeli news. Damn, I cooked. Perhaps it's Piker's complete lack of filter that makes him so attractive to his growing fan base. Most influencers with a red-hot career are careful not to bite the Hollywood hand that could feed them. As a result, these aspiring stars tend to punch down. Piker's willing to punch way up, all the way up to Larry Ellison, the second richest person on the planet, who backed his son David's successful bid to buy Paramount and also has a stake in TikTok. Piker's trying to explain the craven flip of the once liberal tech titan to the Republican side. When Larry Ellison first made that big donation to Marco Rubio for his presidential run in 2016, people were actually a bit confused. I think he's gay, maybe in the closet. I don't know. I hope he doesn't laser me down for speculating, he says with a laugh about the Oracle co-founder. Larry Ellison has been married to 6 women and is currently wed to Jolyn Zhu. But there are hacked emails that show Larry Ellison vetted Marco Rubio for fealty to Israel. And as Secretary of State, Rubio played a role in the TikTok talks that steered the company towards Ellison. Piker doesn't seem too concerned about the prospect of getting lasered down by any vengeful oligarch. I'm also not a stranger to super powerful social media platform owning billionaires directly hating me and making it a personal vendetta and their lives' mission to destroy me somehow, he says. In the wake of the Kirk assassination, Elon Musk took to his X to call for Piker's cancellation, dredging up past comments that walked up to the line. Musk even tagged Amazon founder Jeff Bezos. Amazon owns Twitch. Piker knows the irony that he's not even banned on X, never mind Twitch, because he's a power user and drives engagement. A lot of these guys are very thin-skinned, and I think the gravest mistake of my career was when I had Musk's ex-partner Grimes on my show, and she talked about how buff I was, and then I talked about how Tesla was shit, Piker says. That man has never lived it down. Grimes wasn't exaggerating. Piker is hard to miss with his muscular 6'4" frame. He works out 1 to 2 hours a day, a regimen that includes playing basketball. If he ingratiated himself better with the oligarchs, he would be courted by mainstream Hollywood. He's already heard the siren call and turned it down. His manager, former WME agent David Hunsinger, fielded a $1 million offer from one popular betting platform to run a ticker ad during just one stream on election night 2024. Piker said no. I'm not the easiest client, and not even because I get into trouble, Piker explains. I say no all the time to a lot of deals, like a lot of money, and that's why I really respect David, because throughout our entire professional relationship, he's probably said no to tens of millions of dollars. Starting number was $1 million, which means they could have probably gone up. He's happier helping the Mamdanis of the Democratic Party and sticking a thorn in the side of the Cuomo types. He brought up my name next to Hamas, he said during a debate with Mamdani. Why don't you denounce Hamas? Why don't you denounce Hasan Piker? Piker says the former Democratic governor turned independent mayoral candidate. I'm very similar to Zoran in many respects, and the same reasons why they would be resentful of Zoran or fearful of Zoran is the same reason why they despise me. With the election just 10 days away, Piker is keeping a low profile with the Mamdani campaign. I'm in a holding pattern right now, he says, with a hint of sadness creeping into his voice. I don't want to be too prominent in and around the Zoran stuff at the moment because I don't want him to use it as a line of attack over and over again. What the Cuomo campaign used was a soundbite of Piker, which, by the way, after I said this, they pumped it. This is before they did the extra attack ads, if you remember. Like, this was before the sequence, the wave of, like, Hasan Piker did 9/11 and Zoran Mamdani loves 9/11 ads. I just assumed that they would do it. What the Cuomo campaign used was a soundbite of Piker saying America deserved 9/11 during a 2019 stream. I was talking about blowback, a theory that has academic consensus at this point, that our meddling in the affairs of the Middle East has led to the blowback of 9/11, he explains. This wasn't to say 9/11 is good. It's a horrifying act of terror where 3,000 New Yorkers were slaughtered, and even many more with the first responders that tried to save as many people as possible. Yet it was, of course, weaponized against me. But as election night swung Mamdani's way, Piker wasn't keeping a low profile, but toasting with the millennial mayor-elect with Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez of the Brooklyn Paramount Victory Party. There he offered no mercy for Cuomo. What happened? I thought the Hasan loves 9/11 was a successful campaign strategy, he said in a video that ran on his YouTube channel. Andrew Cuomo, f you, suck my dick. Before the Mamdani win becomes reality, however, Piker can only hope the polls are accurate, but he's feeling confident as we walk along a busy stretch of 10th Avenue. An older man wearing a bandana and hoop earrings stops in his tracks and claps as he recognizes Piker. It's a sign that the streamer's message about Mamdani and or Israel is resonating. Then it hits me that Piker has no security detail as he mingles with the masses. Post Kirk, that seems unwise. I make it a point not to have bodyguards when I'm around the people, he says. I think it was Fidel Castro or Che Guevara who said, I have a moral vest? It was Castro. It was Castro. No one cares. You seem like you care. Getting mad enough to comment on an article that no one cares. Interesting. Extremely well-written profile. Regardless of what the oligarchs desire, there's a reason why Parker has resonated with so many people. As one of my favorite pieces, I think that's one of my favorite profiles of all time, straight up. It was a banger. That ending was so hard, bro. Literally made me tear a bit. Was this a standard 20K? Goodbye. Chad, but man, I would not be worried. I would not be worried if you were in Europe or Asia, but your country is so crazy with their guns. No, I know. And yeah, the article actually was posted on the article was actually posted on their, or this quote was posted on their social media, and it went LeBron numbers, dude. 71,000 likes. Hey, open presents. Thank you for the gifties. The Piker Broadcasting Service, once again, is sponsored by you, the viewers, for you, the viewers. As you know, you too can subscribe to the Piker Broadcasting Service for free with a Twitch Prime or with a $6 subscription. Or you can get gifted a sub if you're lucky. What is this? There was a crack.com article about me. The left's Joe Rogan is now a comedy podcast regular. Hasan Piker is not as popular as Joe Rogan. God damn. End me.
Siempre está protegido con su traje. ¿Cuál traje? What suit? Everybody says you always have a que todo el mundo dice que usted tiene un chaleco a prueba de balas. No. No. Voy a desembarcar así en Nueva York. I will land in New York like this. Tengo un chaleco. I will land in New York like this. Tengo un chaleco moral. I have a moral one. A moral vest. Es fuerte. It's strong. Ese me ha protegido siempre. That one has protected me always. Es uno de los más intentado matar, la verdad. Pero parece que tiene 7 vidas como el gato.
Hate to be a Bellskill, and I love the moral vest quote, but I gotta remind you, to thousands of lunatics is a moral bullseye. It is what it is. This was actually Che Guevara who said this moments before his assassination, but I am but a man. Okay? What are you going to do? You can't live life like that. The moral vest was Fidel Castro. Okay, we're back. This happened yesterday too, remember? It happened one time and then not again. Never again. So, it happens. Did the writer know of you before the profile? Feels like they didn't really, which is nice for these types of profiles. Really well done. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure they did a lot of research ahead of time, right? No one writes a profile that long without doing adequate research, especially for a magazine like Variety. Wait, I'm confused. Why does this tweet have 71,000 likes, but this tweet? Oh, never mind. It just updated to 72,000 likes. I thought it was like 2 separate tweets. Hey, you should use the rest of your 35% discounts, coins in China. For gifted subs? Nah. Yo, Variety. Since when do you platform scumbags like Hasan Piker? I've been reading Variety my whole career, and never, not once, have I seen a Hollywood trade give this much shine to an anti-Jewish, anti-Semitic troll who makes a living insulting people in show business, especially women. What happened to you? Where'd your standards go? When did you become the hype machine for hate click bottom feeders in Hasan? You're a fake tough guy with a webcam and Wi-Fi, a professional bully with a ring light. Variety, do better. Stop giving megaphones The people who spit on the very industry you cover. I had a dream that all the wokes were being prosecuted and you were in hiding. Yeah, Michael Rappaport, by the way, a famous defender of women, Michael Rappaport. It's pretty funny that he just basically described himself, a fake tough guy with a webcam and Wi-Fi, is unironically the perfect way to describe Michael Rappaport. A professional bully with a ring light. Once again, also perfectly descriptive of Michael Rappaport. Brace is going to get so jealous. Entertainment Weekly picked up your comment. Political commentator Hasan Piker slams Gal Gadot. Calls her a dog shit actress. Yeah, I mean, it's confusing to me because, like, do people not know this? Like, do people... Are people oblivious to, like, how much people actually rip on Gal Gadot's acting? Like, even outside of, like, the IDF stuff.
Max Lord, you're putting yourself and everyone in grave danger. I need you to give me the stone. And enough champagne to fill the Nile. Mirror, mirror, magic mirror, who is the fairest of them all? It is our sacred duty, and I'm going to help them. Kyle, no! Max Lord, you're putting yourself and everyone in grave danger. I need you to give me the stone.
I think one of the funniest parts about this, and it's yet another testament to how bad Gal Gadot's acting is the fact that the actual compilation of her saying those lines is unwatchable, whereas someone actually redoing the lines in a humorous way is perfectly watchable. Okay? How is that possible? Whatever happened to the Aussie boys coming to China? They got busy, I assume. Yeah, I've been telling Alexa to follow up no matter what. Bro, I was on audio only. I thought this was her. Okay, well, that's crazy, but all right. Let's get back to the Epstein stuff, and then we're going to move on to other things as well. But yeah, this was the pre-watch Piker one was crazy mode. Visual calculus, elevated position, telescopic sight, high caliber, anyone could do it. Logic, he had a lot of enemies, and his enemies are all armed, most likely a groiper. Savoir faire, Israel did it. Inside job, for sure. Disco Elysium. Hasan visited that restaurant before and knew the waiter's dialogue tree already. Say whatever you like. The guy has incredible instincts. This is really funny just for the interaction where the waiter gives him a free coffee and says, I just like your vibe. And that's because right before Hasan asked the waiter who he thinks killed Charlie Kirk. Imagine being that guy reading this article and finding out you comped the drink for a guy who told one of the biggest publications in the country that the conspiracy theory you believe in is dumb as fuck. Yeah, but I thought about that. I consider that as well, but it's not like they're literally profiling the person or outing them. You know what I mean? They don't actually say what the restaurant is. So it's, you know, there's no harm, no foul in general. You should try some Chinese nicotine pouches. Do they have them? Anyway, that waiter's on Canary mission now. Thanks to you, you sick. He was just asking questions. Yeah. Yeah, that's my bad. Well, I'm on Canary mission too, waiter. Welcome to the good side, I guess. Oliver is cooking some fire emotes. King, it's on its way. What is this? Oh, hell yeah. CNN's Isaac Dover is not mad. A week after appearing at the center of much media attention, the Mamdani's Victor Hasan Piker gets an unchallenged and promoted write-up in Variety, writing off Israel's an ethno-fascist state and saying Gal Gadot is part of a sexualization ploy by the Israeli army. Yeah, no, you're right, Edward Isaac Dover. The Israeli army definitely doesn't have IDF babe accounts. Like, maybe it's not directly the Israeli army doing it, but, you know, really? We're not gonna act like that's a marketing initiative that whitewashes what Israel does. Zero likes, no motion. It doesn't matter. It's Edward Isaac Dover. He is a CNN anchor, or not an anchor, sorry. He's a CNN reporter who hates the Bernie bro wing and all those guys. It's like he's one of my ops in the media. He just posted it a minute ago. Also, I didn't bring up Gal Gadot. The journalist did. What is the expectation? I just hold it in? I'm not. That's kind of my whole brand, don't you think? That's just what I do. I do not hold it in. Yeah, they definitely put attractive soldiers on every birthright trip, including mine, for no reason. Exactly.